So it is the December 25th p.m. turn. And the first thing we do is check for mutual supply. I don't see any units out of supply or back in supply. Next thing we do is Allied air interdiction. And this turn, I think the Allies are going to save all their aircraft for combat and not bother to interdict anyone. So that moves the turn to the Americans. Down here, this regiment here, the Führer's Guard Brigade, it's just been hanging out. I'm going to have them come towards the fray. They can get all the way to Bastogne. And I've got two regiments of the 15th, two Panzer Grenadier regiments. Have them come down and take the Panzer's position. The Americans do have more troops coming in on 26 a.m. down on this part of the map. They'll probably have little effect on the battle, but I want to make sure we're ready for them. Okay. I did a count of the Allied losses, and they've lost 37 regiments. They need to lose 44 in order to swing the victory conditions by one level. So, is it possible for the Germans to get 7 more losses out of the Allies? I don't think so. But we're going to try. And we're going to start right here. We're going to pocket these two regiments. And with the artillery here and here, try to wipe them out. We'll see how successful that will be. I'm under a counterattack result here with the 116th Panzer. I think I have a tough decision with Piper. Because there was no Allied air interdiction, I can get Piper out of there and have him retreat back towards Marseille to help hold that line. Or I can have him come down here and run around and try and help out the 116th Panzer. Now what's interesting about that is this. If I go to help out the 116th Panzer, I think that's going to require the American 2nd Armored Division to stay in the area with the artillery and fight it out with us. Because, they can't risk the possibility that those regiments get free and get north of the town of Verou, which would give the Germans a tactical victory. So that's what Piper's going to do. He's going to go around here to right here. And with the 116th, we're going to attack these two regiments right here. Of course, the 116th can get artillery from there. I'm sorry, the 75th and the 118th Regiment can get artillery support, so I doubt very much this attack will be successful, but we're going to try. I think I'm just going to continue to have this regiment of the 26th Volksgrenadiers hang out here in Gadin. It kind of blocks the road going west, or east I should say. Okay, now up here is where we're going to do some mixing and matching a little bit. I'm going to have 12th Panzer get together here on these hills. Then I'm going to have this these elements of the 9th Panzer Division get together right here. Create a line. This regiment of the 62nd is going to come up here, cover that bridge crossing. Of the 77th of the 26th Volksgrenadiers go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that'd be third, 2/3, 1, 1 1/3, 1 2/3, 2 2/3. Gonna go up here, get what scores me. I'm gonna do something a little bold right here. I'm going to have this regiment, 2nd Panzer, advance, get into that town. He's at risk of being cut off there. But sorry about that. I'm getting all these notifications on my phone. So what I'm going to do is have these 2 regiments move forward 1 hex. Have him get out of there. I'm going to have 10th or 2nd SS come down here and go to there. Have him pull back across the river. Okay. So up here, we need to cover all these little river crossings here. So I'm going to have him go 2, 2 1/3, 2 2/3 to there. Have this regiment of the 12th Volksgrenadiers go from here to there. We'll bring this guy down to there. And him go to there. Do whatever I can to try and form some kind of a line. Of course, right here I'm not defending. So if the Americans want to turn around and go back north and then east, they're welcome to it. It'll just draw them away from Marseille. Okay. Let me take a look. Oh, I got some American reinforcements. 2 regiments of the 167th Infantry Division. They'll come on down here by Echternach. Sorry, that I won't show you that. That's a mystery as to where they're going. They're not really going to have any impact on this battle. Okay, I think the plan right now is to have him, the Führer's Guard Brigade, to come here and guard that part of the river crossing. Of course, I don't really think the Americans are going to go there. They're running out of time to get to Marseille, which that's a big roundabout way to get there. But he'll head in that direction, and hopefully we've strengthened our position enough that we can hold the line for 3 more turns. Okay, so we're going to launch 2 attacks. I'll launch one down here. And we're going to use German aircraft. Let me do the math on this before I decide if I'm going to use Allied aircraft. The Germans are going to have 3, 12, 17, 22, 29, 34 factors. The Americans are going to have 4, 9, 14, 19. What did I say? The German, that's close, is it? 3, 12, 22, 20, 34. So it's not enough for a 2-to-1. Even with the plane, it's not enough for a 2-to-1. It's a 1-to-1. Yeah, so the Allies are not going to bother to use an aircraft right there. They'll pass. The Germans are going to have to get really lucky on their die roll to take them out. So we'll pass. Okay, coming over here. Germans are definitely going to use an airplane here. And I think on this one, the Allies will use a plane. I don't even have to do the math, but I don't want to lose those 2 regiments. So we'll use a plane right there. Okay, so let's do this one first. The Americans are going to have 3, 7, 13, 18 total factors. The Germans are going to have 15. And remember, these guys are in halves because they're out of supply. 15, 18, 21, 24. So 24 to 18 is a 1-to-1. And the trees take it down to a 1-to-2. But we will get a -1 on the die roll for Piper's endurance rating. And we get flanking as well. We have 3 regiments here of the 116th Panzer, all with an ER of 5 or higher. And they're not in an adjacent hex. So it's going to be a 1-to-2 -2. That was not good. That was a 5, which becomes a 3, which is an A1 result. Attack or retreat 1 hex. So Piper's race down here to save the 116th has failed. 116th has to retreat, and that eliminates the division. That's a big ouchie. That hurt. Oh, I also did a count of German losses, and see if I can remember. The only losses that really matter for the German are the mechanized losses, and they right now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They've lost 10 mechanized regiments and brigades. The Germans need to lose 18. Is it 18 or 16? I can't remember. Hold on. The reason I don't remember is, frankly, it's never happened before. 18. The Germans have to lose 18 or more mechanized regiments. So they've only lost 10, so highly unlikely that the Americans are able to kill 8 more, but we'll see. Okay, so I think I'm not going to have, it was a, sorry, let me look up my result again. It was a 1-to-2, 5 down to a 4, an A2 result. I'm going to have these 2 regiments advance in and then advance back out for a 1, 2, 3. Okay. I don't think I'm going to bother to have anyone else advance. No, I don't think so. Okay, so coming over here. We already did the math on this, but I'm going to do it again. We have 7, 10, 19, 24, 29, 34. The Americans have 4, 9, 4, 9, 19. So that's a 1-to-1. Shifted down to a 1-to-2 for terrain. The Americans are in broken. Shifted back up to a 1-to-1 for the aircraft. So it's a 1-to-1 with no ER bonus. Well, the Germans rolled a 2, which is a counterattack result, which is, not bad. So he's under a counterattack result. It's not that big of a deal because when you're under a counterattack result, all you have to do is counterattack one of the units that attacked you. So in this situation, obviously they're going to counterattack that single regiment there. So highly unlikely they end up they won't be forced to retreat. That's not going to happen. Okay, so that is the end of the German turn. The Germans failed to eliminate any more Allied units. Lost 3 of their own, though. So, that's not a good trend. Okay, so we're on to the Allied turn, and the first thing we'll do is figure out this counterattack right here. This guy is all by his lonesome. 9, 12. And this artillery will support, making it a 5-1, which will come down to a 4-1 for the terrain, but it will be -1 for endurance rating. So his goose is cooked. Okay, I think the rest of these units are gonna try and push Piper around a little bit. So he's gonna go 1, 2 to right there. He's gonna come down the road. And the rest of this artillery is going to attack Piper. Which if they can knock Piper out, that would actually go a long ways towards 18 mechanized losses, but they probably won't. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, over here, we're going to trap, I keep saying Piper, this Panzer layer over there. Piper's right here, but we're going to trap him. So 2nd Armored is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to right there. The artillery will come down into support. I got these 2 regiments up here. Oops. I got these 2 regiments up here. Not really sure exactly what to do with them. I guess we'll just get on the road, and we can't attack. We only have 6 combat factors. He's doubled to 6 right now. I don't want to make that attack. So we'll just run down the road. Okay. Germans have made a mistake here and left this regiment of 2nd Panzer high and dry. I, of course, meant to pull him out of there, but I forgot to. At the same time, though, it does slow the Americans down. So I guess we're going to have to try and hit him. Let me see how I want to do that. See, if I bring the British down, I have to take that negative shift. He's doubled to 12 as it is. might not be the attack I want, but I don't see how I can get another American unit into position. So that's what I'm going to have to do. So the British are going to come down and help out here. Third Armored is going to cross the river and attack these two regiments. I'll bring up this artillery to help out. Okay. We got this guy right here who moved up into the town. I can pin him in there. I think I can. I'll have to pin him in with the British. So he'll go to there. He'll go to there. And these two, he'll go to there. I'm gonna have this come down and get on the line. So the British will attack him there and try and knock him out. He's doubled to 12 and he's going to get artillery support from the Germans, so he's not in that terrible of a position. We'll see if the Allied air can make a difference in that. Okay, over here, the 10th or 2nd SS, I think we're just going to come down and get as many units in front of him as possible and knock him off that line. So that's 3 right there. It's 3 right there. Have him come down here. I'm going to have all the artillery get on him too. We're also going to hit here. Try and punch across right there. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Since the Germans have shown no interest in attacking near Liège, I'm going to spread myself out a little bit. Go like that. I mean, if they want to come across, that's fine, but I don't think they're going to get very far. Oh, and I got this regiment of British tanks right here. Guess I should do something with them. I'll come over here and get in this fight right here. Okay. So now let's look at where the Americans want to use some air power. The Allies have 5 air factors. I'm going to have to do some math on these, so bear with me. Actually, what I'm going to do is, I'm supposed to commit all the air at once. So let me do that. So I'm looking at Piper down here, who's pinned. 10, 20, 26, 29, 33, 40, 47, 51, 56, 63, 68, which make it a 4-to-1, which down to a 3-to-1. So we're going to use a plane there to keep it at 4-to-1. Okay, over here, I don't think we're going to use a plane here. There's no point. He's already at a 5-1 or so. But we'll use a plane here on Panzer Lehr. Try and knock them out. Okay. I'm going to use a plane here. Try and help push them. I don't think we need one here. He's greatly outnumbered. And then up here, we're going to use a plane here on this attack. And we're going to use one right here on this attack. Okay. So let's come down here and start with this counterattack. The Germans have 3 factors. The Allies have 4, 8, 13, 18. So it's a 5-1 down to a 3-1 for terrain, -1 for endurance rating. So, oh, I'm sorry, 5-1 down to a 4-1, -1. So 4-1, -1. Roll the 3, which becomes a 2. And on the 4-1, that is a D4 result. That eliminates him and permits 4 hexes of advance. 4 movement points of advance, I should say. And I'm going to have this regiment go into the hex, 2, then 3, then 4, like that. We'll pick on this artillery over here. Okay. So over here, the Germans have 28 factors in here. The Americans have 4. Ugh, this is going to be ugly. 4, 9, 19, 24, 29, 36, 43, 70, 50, 57, 62, 67. Long and short of it is, it's not enough for a 3-1. But it's a 2-1 right now. And because Lehr is in light woods, there's going to be a shift for combined arms to 3-1, I mean. And the plane is going to shift it to 4-1. Uh-oh. Panzer Lehr's in more trouble than I thought. Okay. So that's going to be a 4-1 on him. Panzer Lehr needs a 6. Let me put it that way, or he's going to be wiped out. I rolled a 2, which is a D4 result. That kills Panzer Lehr. He cannot retreat through enemy zones of control. Well, the Americans are going to be a lot closer to 18. I'm just surprised. I've not had this happen in solitaire or face-to-face games where the Germans lost 18 mechanized units. But right now they've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 mechanized units. So that hurts. Okay, and it was a 4-hex advance. Oh, you know what? I didn't use this artillery. You know what? It wouldn't have made a difference. I rolled a 2. Even if that had come down to a 3-1, a 2 is a D2 result. So it was at least a 3-1, so it's irrelevant that this artillery did not fire. Because remember, he was at 28 factors. The artillery would have taken him to 33 factors. So he would have been at 2-1 anyways. So nothing can be done about that. So he's done. 4-hex advance. Artillery have no zone of control. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three. Get that plane out of there. Okay. Well, this is a shocking turn of events over here. It looked to me like the Germans had Bastogne tied up, but now these units are going to be out of supply, and there's not a lot there to help protect Bastogne. Well, anyways, let's keep moving along. Over here, the Allies are going to have 26, 29, 33, 40, 47, 51, 56, 62, 67. So it's going to be a 4-to-1, down to a 3-to-1 for the terrain, back up to a 4-to-1 for the aircraft. And Piper would normally have an ER. He does have an ER bonus, but I have flanking on him with the 2nd Armored Division, so that they wash each other out. So it's going to be straight up 4-to-1. A 6, which is a counterattack result. Frankly, that's what Panzer needed. Counterattack result. Okay. Up here, the Germans have 12 factors. The Americans have 18. 18 factors, so that's a 1-to-1. Shift it down to a 1-to-2 for the terrain. Shift it back up to a 1-to-1 for the aircraft. So 1-to-1. Rolled a 5 on the 1-to-1 chart. That is a suppressed result, so nothing happens. Over here, the Germans are at 12. The Americans are at 18. I'm sorry, the British are at 18. 25. Yeah, 18, 25. 30, 33, 35. Oh. Okay, I need to redo this attack. I'm sorry. I meant to add this artillery. I think that would have made it a 2-to-1, which on a 2-to-1, a 5 result is engaged. So actually those units are engaged there. Not a big difference, but let's get it right. So they're engaged. Okay, over here, and these artilleries fired on that assault to make it a 2-to-1. Okay, so what did I say? 10, 18, 25, 30, 33, 35, 37, 43. So 43 to 12 is a 3-to-1, but that is shifted down to a 2-to-1 because of inter-allied cooperation. Oh, you know what? Now I'm forgetting about this artillery. I'm going to fire this artillery into here, which I think that makes it a 4-to-1. 10, 18, 25, 30, 35, 38, 40. Yes, it does. 48. Sorry. 48 to 12, which is a 4-to-1. Shifted down to a 3-to-1 for inter-allied cooperation. So it's a straight up 3-to-1. I rolled a 1, which is a D3 result. So that kills him. That's another mechanized unit lost. This is not looking good for the Germans. There was a D3 result, so 3 hexes of advance. I'll just have him go 1, 2, 3. I'll have the British get out in front here, go 1, 2. And these guys go 1, 2. Okay. So, it's not good for the Germans. Not only are they getting pressed at Marseille, Bastogne, they're also racking up a lot of losses here. Okay, let's do this attack first here. I'm gonna... Actually, no. I want to do this attack first. And this attack is going to be 7, 14, 19, 24, 28, 32, 37, 42, 45, 45, 50, 55, 59, 65. So that's going to be a 6-to-1, shifted up to a 7-to-1 for combined arms and clear terrain, or in this case, I think it's light wood. Yeah, light woods. So that's going to be a 7-to-1. So the Americans, or the Germans, have a decision to make. Do they save their artillery for here, or do they use it here? And the risk they run is that if they don't use the artillery here, the Americans might very well cause him a 3 or 4 hex retreat and be able to advance next to that artillery, and then it can't fire. So that's a tough decision for the Germans, because this guy's in big trouble over here, of course. He's completely surrounded and he's got air power. The whole thought of him going up there was contingent upon that artillery assisting him. But so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one artillery here, and I'm going to use one over here. So I'll use the first one. Let me see which one I got a 5 and a 6 in there. Okay, so I said this was going to be 20. They have 65 factors. So if I give him the 5, that'll make it a 4-to-1 back up to a 5-to-1. Sorry, it's a tough decision, because probably I should give him all that artillery support. If I give him all that artillery support, he'll be at 21 factors, so it will be a 3-to-1 shifted up to a 4-to-1. On the 4-to-1, of course, there's a 1 in 6 chance he doesn't have to retreat at all. Well, I'm going to use the 5 artillery on that attack, and that will give him 15 factors. The Americans have 65. So that's a 4-to-1 shifted up to a 5-to-1 for being in light woods. So a 5-to-1 with, I think, no ER bonus. No ER bonus. So straight up 5-to-1. Rolled a 3, which is a D4 result. Not the result the Germans wanted. So he has to retreat 4 hexes. He'll retreat 1, 2, 3, 4 back to in front of Marseille. Here. He'll retreat back to here. And the Americans get 4 hexes of advance, or 4 movement points of advance. So they're going to go one, 2, 3, 4. And again, remember, the artillery has no zone of control. So those guys are all going to go in different directions, crossing the bridge and then moving across there. I'm going to have him go down to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. that ground freeze really helps the Americans because now all their units go one movement factor in that light woods area. So, okay, let's move on to the next one. Germans are doubled to 12. The Allies have 5, 11, 16, 21, 26, 26, 31, 36, 39, plus 5 is 44. So 44 to 12 is a 3 to 1. That is shifted to a 4 to 1 for the aircraft. And again, no ER bonus. So straight up 4 to 1. Rolled a 4, which is a D2 result, which eliminates this regiment, the 2nd Panzer Division. Oh, tell you what, the 5th Panzer Army took it on the chin this turn. They lost a lot of units. That allows for a 2-hex advance. So I'm going to have this guy go 1, 2. Let me get this plane out of here. Have this stack go 1, 2. And that's what that's going to look like. Okay, we have one more attack over here. Germans are doubled to 4 for being across the river. The Americans have 5, 11, 15, 17, 23. So it's a 5 to 1. Shifted to a 6 to 1 for the aircraft and -1 for endurance rating. So 6 to 1, -1. Roll to 5, which becomes a 4, which is a D4 result. So he has to retreat 4 hexes. Well, I can't. I want to go this way, but I can't. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go like that. Okay. So, first of all, let me count up German losses. The Germans might just have lost the game right there. We'll find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The Germans have lost 16 armored regiments. So if they lose 2 more, then the victory conditions get automatically shifted to it from a draw to a tactical victory for the Americans. I think the bigger problem in a way for the Germans is this over here. They got all these troops. The Americans have Patton's whole army right in front of Bastogne. He's cut off. At the beginning of the turn, he'll be placed out of supply. So he ain't going to be able to help out. These guys can't get back there because of where this ACR is positioned. Holding Bastogne is going to be up to him. I guess thank God the Germans moved him up there. That's going to fall to him. And who knows if he can pull that off. We shall see. Of course, Piper's in big trouble over here. He's under a counterattack result. So he's probably going to get knocked out next turn. So next turn, all the Americans need to do is kill Piper and 1 more armored unit, and they win the game. And on top of all that, this large American force has pushed all the way down to a few miles away from Marseille with only 1 regiment and these Nebelwerfers. These Nebelwerfers are useless on defense to defend the city. So that's a problem. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, frankly, if the Germans can somehow barely manage to hold on to the draw. Okay, that's the end of the turn. We're going to start with the December 26th AM turn, and there are only 2 turns left. So let's see how this turns out. See you guys later.